Let's talk tools. I actually can't believe I'm saying this. I never thought I'd be someone excited to talk about tools, but I am. I did a video on this topic a few years ago and was looking at it and went, huh, there's been a whole resurgence in AI. So I should, and there's also some other tools that have been around for a while that I was not using at the time that I have started using. So time for a refresh, time to do this video all over again. So let's talk about the content marketing tools that I use to really make my content as good as it can be. It is, I mean, when I started out back in, I think it was 2012, 2013, somewhere around there, it was just write a blog post, get a story in there, get it up on the website, rinse and repeat, do it as often as you can to get the attention. And that's really all you needed to do. And that's no longer the case. It has since gotten much more competitive. Google got much more picky about what content it promoted versus what content it, buried at the bottom of its search rankings. And now we have AI. So there are all kinds of tools that I use to make my life easier. Some of them are free, some not so much. Most of them have a free option and a paid option. So let's get into it. First and foremost, notes. Take notes. And I recommend keeping them all in one place. And this is because the more you think about whatever your profession is, I know for myself, I get ideas all the time for marketing. I should do this as a social media post. I should do this as a blog post. People need to know about this. This was something that came up. This idea for this video here was like, oh yeah, I have a lot of tools and I use them a lot. And there's this whole AI thing, and maybe I should update that post. So I have a note on my phone. Actually, it's on my phone where I keep all of that information, all of my ideas. I use Evernote. That is my favorite. There, it has a free version and a paid version, and it's negligible. It's I think 1083 a month and 1416 per month as of this recording. So take that with a grain of salt if you're watching this in the future. But it's, not bad for everything that you get. And it lets you organize into different notebooks and then notes within each notebook. So you can organize your notes that way. It lets you take pictures and add that to a note. So that can be great depending on what you're doing. So I use that. I have a writing folder. I have a blog post ideas note that I keep adding to as I keep getting ideas for content. OneNote is another one. If you have a Microsoft subscription, it's free with your subscription. That's what I have personally have not used it, but it seems to be something that people swear by because it comes up again and again when I talk to people about digital note taking. Is everyone talks about OneNote. The other thing I use a lot, because inevitably my best ideas come when I'm out walking my dog or I'm doing laundry or something and I'm not at my computer, right? And I can't always easily sit down, even though I have Evernote on my phone. Evernote, by the way, does have an app and also a desktop version, but you have to pay in order to use more than one device. So if you just want it on one device and you only need a few notes, the free version is fine. If you want to use it on multiple devices, it's great. I recommend it, but you do got to pay for it. So voice notes. I love taking a voice note on my phone and reminding myself of something that I need to do or an idea that I had. And then when I get back to a place where I can sit down and write it down in that note app, that's when I go ahead and do it. And I make sure that it's all in one place. But like I said, I tend to get my best ideas when I'm out walking my dog and she does not want to sit and wait for me to type an idea into my phone. So I can keep moving while talking into my phone and be that annoying person. Topic ideas. All of mine is keyword research based. But before I do keyword research, I use Answer the Public, which again has a free version and a paid version. Free version, I believe, lets you get up to 3 searches per day. So if you're only doing this for your own blog, that should be plenty. What it does is you put in a word or a phrase, and it will tell you all of the questions that people are asking around that word or phrase. It is excellent for coming up with ideas because you will get so many ideas and so many questions people are asking around that topic, and it divides it up into how to or why or what, and then fills it in from there. So that's how it divides up those questions. So you can kind of scan that way if you're looking, especially for the how to. That's always a big one. for blogging. Um, but it's not an SEO tool. So once I land on something and go, oh yeah, that could be a good topic, I'm always going to take that back to my SEO tool, which I'll talk about in a bit, and see, is this a good keyword? Are people actually looking for this, or is it like one person put it into a search engine one time and that generated a response from Answer the Public? That can happen. So Answer the Public is great. It is not an SEO tool. It's just going to be like, oh yeah, this got a search one time. So make sure a significant number of people are looking for it, and B, has not already been covered to death, because you find that too. Seems like a great topic, and all the other marketers in your industry had that exact same idea, and they already covered it to death, and you have no chance in ranking for it. So, but it's a great place to start. Awesome idea generator, Answer the Public. Mention. Mention is a social listening tool. Again, it's not the only one out there, but it's probably the best well known. If you actually want to listen in on people's conversations, and again, this is conversations they're having online, so I understand it sounds creepy, but this is all public information. So it's just making it easy and letting you sort through the information real quick, and go, here's all the conversations people are having around this topic. It lets you understand the questions that people are asking around that topic, and then Mention has all kinds of cool ways that it can analyze the data and help you get more information out of the data that it's giving you, so that you know what to do next. Awesome tool. That is Mention. Next up, SERPstat, my favorite SEO tool, because I was doing some research back in the day when I started doing SEO professionally and realized I needed to pay for a keyword research tool. SERPstat was not only the most accurate, but also one of the more cost effective. So it's a win-win. That is SERP, SERPstat, SERPstat. All one word, SERPstat.com. Excellent tool. Highly recommend. I use it for all my keyword research. It also does website analysis, backlink analysis, rank tracker, site audit. You should be auditing your website for SEO issues at least once a quarter, ideally. So, and you can set it up in SERPstat so that it checks your site. I think it does every week. And then it emails you that report. So if you can't remember the last time you did an audit, you don't have to, because you can set SERPstat to just regularly scan your website every week, every month, however you want to do it. And then get that report and go, oh, look, this issue popped up. We should look at that. Headline Analyzer, there's an emotional headline analyzer by Advanced Marketing Institute. It tells you how emotional your headline is, which is great because we got to get the keyword in there. We got to tell people what it's about, and we got to give them a reason to click through. So it has a lot to do in a short period of time. It is the single most important piece of your content, and also the hardest to write, because it has to do so much in such a short amount of time. So Headline Analyzer by Advanced Marketing Institute is my favorite. Not only does it tell you how emotional it is, it will also tell you what category of emotion it falls into, and then we'll give you a brief description of the kinds of people who are looking for that. When I say kinds of people, like general demographics in terms of like the industries that they're in. So it doesn't get really specific into it. It's a very general, broad overview, but it's a great first look at your headline in terms of, yes, this is what I want to target. Yes, these are the people I'm looking to target. Excellent. If the people that it says, yeah, these are the people mostly interested in this, and they don't fit your ideal clients, it might be time to do some rewriting. Let's talk about plugins. I use WordPress for my website, which means plugins. Yoast is the most popular. There are all kinds of SEO plugins. Yoast is probably the most popular. I don't love it. It tends to recommend keyword overstuffing. So when I have clients who have Yoast and that's what they want to use, all right, I'll use it for a few things, but mostly I ignore it. My favorite is All-in-One SEO, AIO SEO for short. So you can see that. And again, free version, paid version, actually a few different paid versions. It will analyze your headline for you. You can tell it what your target keyword for the piece is, as well as related keywords. You can, and then it will read analyze your content for you, not only looking at how many, making sure your keyword is in there. It's also going to look at, is this really easy to read? Are you using run-on sentences? Have you used the same word too much? So I love using that as my, again, just a quick glance at my website, like, or my content, and go, am I on the right track here? Paid version, again, as of this recording, starts at 50 per month and goes up to 300 per month, depending on how much you want to use it. Photos and images, again, I am not a lawyer, so I am not um, a photographer, certainly not an artist. No one wants anything that I've drawn. So I use Canva a lot, as I'm sure most of you do. I also use Pixabay for royalty-free images, although I can't guarantee that won't get you into trouble. I do recommend talking to a lawyer about that, because there was a different website I used to use, and then my client got in trouble. So we were like, let's not use that site anymore. So Pixabay is the one that I use now. Have not, knock on wood, have not had any trouble with that. And then again, Canva, I use Canva all the time. All the time I go to Canva and open it up. It does have an AI, magic thing, where it can, draw something using AI, whatever it is you want to draw. I've not had great luck with that, and that might be my own fault. It might be user error in terms of just not really understanding how to prompt it correctly. But you can't really give it feedback. Um, and you get the same issues that you get with all AI generated images, which is, multiple, more than two hands, or more than, limbs in the wrong place, and stuff doesn't always make a total sense. But I use it all the time, not the AI stuff. For AI images, I use ChatGPT. Claude is my favorite AI for the text stuff. It is not good at drawings. I do use ChatGPT for images on occasion. That's not most of what again, I'm always going to go to Canva first, and if I can't get what I need there, then I go with ChatGPT. But again, take that with a grain of salt, just because, again, it's using images that have been created by real humans and repurposing it for you. So you might still get in trouble with that, depending on how much it's relying on other people's content. So again, not a lawyer. Don't that This is not legal advice. I do recommend consulting a lawyer who specializes in intellectual property before diving into that. AI writing tools. I don't really use ChatGPT or Claude for writing. Again, I'm a writer. It's how I think. It's how I get all my ideas out, and I organize really well when I'm writing. So not super useful for me as a writing tool. I do like to use it for getting over writer's block. And again, you can use it like you use Answer the Public in terms of generating ideas for blog post topics, but always check that against your SEO tool, because as with Answer the Public, ChatGPT is most likely to tell you what everyone is already talking about. It's not going to be able to tell you the stuff that people are looking for that have not already been covered by everyone else in your industry. So it can be a good starting point, but always do that keyword analysis first and foremost, and then if it checks that box, then you can go ahead and start writing. I like to use it when I know the topic I'm writing about. I'm just having a hard time getting started. ChatGPT is great for that. Claude is great for that. They're really not good. Obviously, they don't know your expertise, your personal experience, which is what's going to get people's attention and really position you as a thought leader in your industry. So always include that in your content. But you can use AI for the boring stuff. You can have it write an outline for you, which again, I don't do because I'm not an outline person. I'm a seat of the pants kind of writer. But if you like an outline, and again, you just need someone to draw the box for you so you can then fill in that box. AI is great for that. AI transcription. So my favorite way to use AI is transcription. So, and now anytime I interview a client or even a prospect, I will record it and then drop the audio file. I just use Microsoft Word. Obviously, there's Otter AI. There's a bunch of other AI tools that can transcribe it for you. So whatever your favorite AI transcript, AI has come a long way in transcribing. I remember the early days when people were like, now we can have computers transcribe our content for us. And it was like, not really. It's come a long way. It's still not perfect. It still needs an edit, but it's come a long way. So I love just dropping it and into Word and having Word transcribe it for me. And then I just need to scroll to find the part of the conversation that I'm looking for. I don't have to listen to the whole audio file or half the audio file or what have you. You can also take that transcription and drop it into ChatGPT, Claude, whatever your favorite is, and have it organize that content for you. And if you are someone who thinks better when you're talking than when you're writing, talk it out. Talk about everything you want in your blog post and then have it AI transcribe it for you and organize it for you. AI is awesome at that. And that way you can make sure that your personal expertise and experience are included because you're putting it in there. You're inputting that content. You're just having AI organize it for you. Excellent way to use AI. So I highly recommend that if you are going to go the AI write for me route. Google Analytics, totally free, right? It's for your website. It lets you see all the traffic that's coming to your website, which pages are getting the most visits, how long people are visiting your site before clicking away, how many pages they tend to visit before clicking away. And you can even see the geographic location of most of your visitors. So it's much more about your website, ranking for certain keywords, provides information on the people who are coming to your website, what they're doing there, how effective your website is at engaging and converting leads. You got to get the data, and Google Analytics is a great way to see, oh, well, we think this blog post was great versus, well, was it actually great? Did people actually read it, or did they, skim past it and click away? MailChimp is my favorite. That's what I use for my email. Constant Contact is the other big one. There are a whole bunch out there, but that's what I use for my newsletter. I love the template option. That's the other thing I forgot about Canva to mention is the fact that you can have a brand kit in there. I think that's part of the paid version. There's a free version and a paid version, but with the paid version, you get a brand kit. You can upload your colors, your fonts. You can save templates. So if you want your blog headline, your blog header image to look roughly the same every time, you just want to tweak it for each post. Super quick and easy to do that with those saved templates in Canva. I love, love, love using that. Same with MailChimp. You can use certain templates and then it's just, drag and drop, fill it in. I find it really easy to use. I love that I can schedule. Again, there's a free version and a paid version you can either use it free up to a certain number of subscribers, or if you want to segment your list, which I recommend, that's going to require that you pay. You can also, not only can you schedule it, but with a paid version, you can schedule it so that it goes to certain people. If you want everyone to get it at 8:30 their time, then you make sure that everyone gets it at 8:30 their time, which I think is really awesome because that's the best way to make sure you're hitting people when they're most likely to read it. So take advantage of that option. Explore the different MailChimp options because it is pretty cool. That's it. Those are all the tools that I use to make my content marketing as effective as it can be, right? It's not just write the content, put it out there, hope it gets results. We really need to be strategic if we're going to break through all the noise, and using these tools is how I do that. So no affiliations, by the way. No one is paying me to say any of this. I just really want people to know what I use, why I use it, how I use it, and how it makes my content better. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Always happy to geek out about this. You can get more information like this over by subscribing if you haven't already. Subscribe to this channel. You can also check out my website, AV, as in my initials, Allison Verhalen. That is avwritingservices.com. And you can reach me directly at info@avwritingservices.com. That's it. Have a great week and happy blogging, everyone.